Hey guys, today we're shooting a property out in Sheep Ranch, California. It's a little town out in Amador County, and we're doing photos and drone on this one. It's about 2,800 square feet. So today I'm going to show you how I get ready for the day, how I approach each listing. So stick around and see how this works out. All right, so outside, I always get 3 front views, one from the right, one from the center, and one from the left. And so settings, I always shoot between f8, f9 outside because it's super bright. We're going ISO 100, and we're gonna set our timer to 2-second timer to get rid of any shake. And we're gonna zoom in a little bit, make sure we're level. Always expose for the sky outside. As you can see, my focus point is up here, perfectly exposed. Get a nice focus pull on the house, timer's good, and go. And here we are from the left. One thing with houses out in the country, there tends to be a lot of stuff, so you can't really, make sure that everything is perfect, but you want to look for obvious stuff. But like here, you got the garage doors. You always want to make sure your garage doors are closed for your exterior shots, making sure there's no obvious piles of trash or anything in the front. No shoes piled up by the front door. Hoses are reeled up nice and neat. And let's go inside and show you how I get the inside ready. Interiors, I always shoot from just a little over waist high, and we're gonna get dialed in here, set our exposure. Like I said, we're always exposing for windows. If it gets too dark, I switch to 5 brackets, 2 stops apart. Gives you a little bit more room. And then you need to adjust your verticals. All right, so here we are inside. The agent was here before me, and she turned all the lights on and opened the blinds for me. But you want to make sure all the lights are on. Blinds open if you can, especially when there's a nice view. Sometimes this is easier said than done. I'm actually not going to mess with those. Lights on, even though it's not going to make much of a difference. Lights on, toilet seats closed. This kind of stuff I try to find a home for. Set it up there for now. So here I've already set up for these stairs. This agent wanted me to really highlight this staircase. One thing we need to do is turn this fan off. So like here we want lights on. And now we gotta find the light switch. There it is. All right, in the kitchen, you want to make sure Dishes aren't piled up in the sink. Nothing crazy on the counters. Everything's looking good in here. Turn some more lights on. I always open closets. You never know if it goes to a secret room. Here we got a laundry chute. That's kind of cool. Closet. Nope. That's what I'm talking about. Opening doors. You never know what it's going to lead to. They are actually having an estate sale here. Sometimes turning the lights on is what takes the longest. And again, rooms like these, there's not much you can do with all this stuff, so you just make do. So one thing you need to pay attention to when you're shooting these houses is, if you notice right here, that light flickering. That's actually an LED light that's not in sync with the camera. So I will come over and I will turn it off for the time being. That way it doesn't mess up the shot. As you can see now, lights off, no flickering. So here we have a pitch black closet, small closet. Any of the small rooms, I shoot vertical. So this is what I'm talking about, shooting vertical versus horizontal. So here's the vertical shot. So we're going to expose for the window. It's very bright. Crank off a shot, but you see how we get more of the floor. But when we switch to horizontal, I feel like we lose a lot of the room, which is why I shoot vertical. So this is an interesting shot. So we got a bright bathroom, we got a dark stairway with no lights, and then we got a semi-lit portion of the house. The fan's just about off. So again, you always expose for the brightest part, which is here. Actually, we're gonna go over, that's good. And watch how bright the hallway gets, or the stairway. So when those blend from my editor, that'll be lit nice. This will be nicely lit, as will that. It'll be very even. And then every time I'm shooting the kitchen, I always raise it up, so we're not getting underneath the counters or underneath the cabinets. Alright, now that I'm done shooting, I walked the house one more time to make sure I didn't miss any rooms. Alright, now we're outside. I went back to 3 brackets. We're going to kind of highlight this view off the deck. As you can see, beautiful views. I'm not really too worried about getting pictures of the exterior right now because I'll get the majority of those with my drone. But I am going to get this hot tub. It kind of shows it off the slider of that primary suite. Gonna make sure we're squared up on that roof line. Make sure our verticals are good and that we're level. We are in uncontrolled airspace, so we are good to go. All right, and that is the drone shoot or drone shots. So we are going to bring it on in. I usually do return to home, but since I'm flying around a lot of these trees, I'll just manually bring it home. Then you can see you got your little indicator there of where your drone actually is. I'm parked on a little bit of a slant, so I'm going to bring it down. So if it slides, it stops before landing. Like that. And that's a wrap. Was having issues with his network, and so I am going through the photos and uploading them to Lightroom while sitting in my car using my Starlink. So we're going to import these, and then I'm just going to check them for verticals, make sure the colors are good, and then we'll export them. So one of the most difficult things that I run into with editors is everybody wants to blow the whites and make it super bright, and this particular editor or this particular client loves that warm color. So now I have to go in and adjust the white balance to warm them up a little bit, and it's kind of a pain in the neck, but it is what it is. So like before, after, before, after. We gotta do the same thing here. So like I said, before, or before, after, before, after. So now we got the photos all uploaded, we've delivered them, and then the agent will get the email that everything is ready to go. They will pay right through this link, and they have access to their photos.